everyone, this is Casper the Boy Diviner here today, and I wanted to cover with you my top 5 most intimidating decks. These are decks that I'm still intimidated by. Because of this intimidation, I've owned these decks for actually quite a while, like months, but I have not really touched them as much as I could or I should. Alright? These decks are not in any order, and I think, of course, most of it has to do with myself. And how scared I am into delving into them, plus time constraints and things like that. These aren't the typical like RWS kind of decks that I've been studying. I mean, I do know some of the Thoth, but still, that's the first deck I want to show you guys today. I want to show you the Thoth deck. I think this deck is not a stranger to any of you. Some of you I know aren't into Aleister Crowley and what he has done, but the art and the deck itself is still lovely, alright? But the thing is, it is not an easy deck to read. Even though they have all the keywords there, it's never that simple, And the symbolism in these cards are so deep. Some people use the word symbology. I know it's a word now. I don't feel like it was a word years ago until the that book came out. The Symbologist book by, I think, Dan Brown. Yeah, but sorry, that's just a small pet peeve of mine. Anyway, all the symbols here are, things that I'm not like super familiar with. I love the art. The art is great. I'm just the sort of person that feels intimidated because I doubt my own intuition all the time, and I don't like to read just based on my own intuition. I don't trust myself that much. I believe that intuition comes after you done a deep study of the deck, and this is not what I have had time with. Alright? Honestly, I did spend time trying to learn the Thoth, and I still use it from time to time when I'm feeling experimental, like I'm feeling like I want to try again. And I have to say that this book really helped. I think this book was recommended by most people when you start out. And honestly, I enjoyed this book. I enjoyed the book. Okay? It was a good book. It went through a lot of things I didn't know about the tarot. It's not only about it is about the Thoth, but it goes deeper than that. Of course, it goes into Kabbalah. It goes into about some of the changes he made, like the Aeon, things like that. I think Lon Milo Duquette really helped to break down some of those barriers. I have not read Aleister Crowley's books on the Thoth tarot yet. I don't even know what those are called. Liberty? Yeah. Any case, it's still too intimidating for me, and so I have not started using this deck on the regular. And this has also formed like a kind of barrier to the rest of the Thoth decks that I own. Even then, I still feel like buying more. I feel like buying the Liberty deck. I still feel like buying the Urban Tarot. But I feel like I need to really stick to learning this first before I can move on. Okay? Because of that, I wanted to talk about the Tabula Mundi deck, which is absolutely gorgeous. I love the deck and I wish I could use it more. And I do use it from time to time again. But this is more of a Thoth deck, I feel. Is it a Thoth deck? I'm not very sure. But in any case, it is still a very I think it's a Thoth deck. Anyway, it's very esoteric also, which I love. I love the imagery. I love how it looks. Okay, this is the minima version, so it's really tiny, but I have small hands. Plus, I won this in a giveaway on a tarot Facebook page, which I really appreciate. So Mel Malene, T. Susan Chang, you guys are so generous. Okay, the Sun card. Yeah, this deck is beautiful. It's lovely. I would really wish I could work with this more. But there's that block of the Thoth deck. Plus, as with the Thoth deck, this deck has a lot of astrological kind of correspondences. The book that I've been trying to read this one, and it is a lovely book, but I always just feel blocked when I read the book, and I don't know why. Listening to Fortune's Wheelhouse helps a bit, but I'm still intimidated because they talk about Keter, and they talk about all the Kabbalah, and I don't get it. It doesn't get to me so easily, and each card has like astrological correspondences, the planets. So I read Tarot Correspondences by T. Susan Chang also, and that helps a bit. I'm also taking a course, but it still all scares me because I don't know much about astrology. Astrology is basically alien to me, and trying to figure out, this deck itself is the moon in the Leo or something like that. I don't know if that even makes sense. So I don't. It's so hard to get when you don't have the basics done. So again, I bought Benabel Wen's astrology course years ago, maybe 2 years ago, last year, and I'm still not even remotely done, and I guess that's on me. Again, all these decks are on me, okay? So basically it's my fault. I wish I could get into them. I wish I could understand them better. I just don't. Yeah. So that's the second deck I wanted to cover. Lovely deck, Tabula Mundi, or Mundi. Okay, the next deck I wanted to cover is one deck that I think is quite familiar with everyone, the Spirit Keeper's Tarot. I did a walkthrough of this deck, and I still love this deck, and I still use it. Okay, I still use it more regularly than these others, just because I think Benabel Wen says the right thing when she said she crafted this deck. She tried to make it more accessible than the original one, and I feel like it is accessible. I feel like I can use it as a standard deck, but what happens is like I still feel scared of the deck is beautiful, okay? I love the quality. The quality feels nice. She replaced any scuffed decks the cards that I had, those really badly scuffed ones. Why this intimidates me, okay? I feel like I'm sort of, maybe it's my Virgo self talking about this, but I feel like if I can't do something completely right, I don't do it at all. Like, I'd rather not even bother. Like, I'll just not do it. And the thing is with this deck, it came with the Book of Maps, it came with another 2 books, so it's a lot of material, and I do have like limitations on my time. So one of the things is time and money, honestly. Like, all these decks, they're not cheap. So I think the first exercise or the first ritual with the SKT is the coloring of the cards. So firstly, I did not print a version from Lulu. I don't live in the US, so shipping fees are a lot. Even printing in Singapore, it's not exactly cheap. It's cheaper than other countries, I have to admit, but I don't. So I put the book in my iPad, and at the same time, it's like, do I color it in my iPad? Where am I going to find all the ingredients for the oil, because it's not cheap to get frankincense here, or myrrh, resin is hard to get here, and it's just a lot of like financial things. It's like, if I can't even make the proper oil, do I even bother? I have a love oil that I created. It is a holy love oil, but is it appropriate to use for the deck? I ask myself all these questions, and I do want to use it because that one also has more personal correspondences, but I crafted it more for love, protection and love also, but not like general spirit protection. So all these thoughts in my head, and the idea of having to spend another afternoon making another holy oil, after making the oil, coloring the deck in, on an iPad, does that work? Like, all these doubts, questions that I have are just in my head. I know that, I can just, believe in that oil, maybe the love oil that I created, use it, color it in the iPad and believe that it works, and then I feel more connected to the deck. I think that makes sense, but again, feeling like I can't do 100% of the instructions, I just feel like I don't get it. Like, I won't feel that connection. Yeah. The truth is, I do feel a connection. I like the cards, and I feel like they do talk to me more than some of the other decks that I have, more than the other decks that I have shown. But because of that barrier to entry with the ingredients and things like that, it's been difficult to honestly feel like I can use the deck, or I'm ready to use the deck. And I see so many people saying that they've done the coloring, they've done the oils, and wow, all these, I just feel like people have so much more dedication or more power than I have, and I do need to cultivate my own power more. Yeah, but I just feel so tired most of the time. I don't know why, okay? Seriously, like, yeah, I've been thinking a lot about all these things, about the situations in my life, my energy levels. Anyway, sorry for rambling again and talking about life in general. You know, I've been thinking about making favorite videos or reflection videos on the month, but I don't know if anyone is interested in that. So let me know if you are. I can ramble about my life for a long time, but try to connect it to the tarot. Okay, so anyway, this is the next deck that I wanted to show you. I got this since last year October, so it's been almost a year. I have not used it almost at all. Like maybe I opened it twice or three times. Okay, why? So I heard a lot of good things about this deck. I think there's a person that I saw on YouTube, Phoenix Rising. I think his name was Gale. I will link his video below if I remember or if I can find it. And the deck looks really nice. I like the fresh, you know, colors that it has. You know, I love that it's a collage deck from like the past. But the thing is so firstly it came a bit like bent somehow. I don't know if you can see that. It's like bent that way. So I'm like, oh, what happened? And then after that, like I didn't feel that connected to the deck. It was definitely, and I know about this before I bought it, that it's definitely not RWS deck. It's not RWS at all. I even bought the deluxe version, so the cards are bigger so you can see it clearly, but I also did not realize that how big the deck is might be a barrier to entry for me because of my smaller hands. But shuffling isn't that bad. And then because it's based on the continental tradition, right? So there are like the Marseille RWS Thoth tradition. This is the continental edition, and then there's this lovely book by Christine Payne-Towler. I heard that a lot of this book is also in the app, which is cheaper, but I thought I wanted to study it. But I just couldn't get into the book. Like, so part of me feels like I should just dedicate a full like weekend reading the book and trying to get it, because I feel like it's worth it. I feel like the images are beautiful. But again, when you read the book, you realize there's a lot of knowledge based on, you know, astrology, based on the decans and Kabbalah, and these are things that all scare me. And knowing that I have to know all these for example, the Tabula Mundi, the Tarot of the Holy Light, just makes me feel like I'm not ready right now, and I'm not in the good space to really learn this much. Plus, I heard that this continental method it's not like compatible or not in the same vein as the Thoth. Like I think the aces in the Thoth are the 10s in the continental tarot. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, okay, please, because I clearly did not study this as much as I would have liked. Okay, so this is one of the decks that I feel like I'm very intimidated by, more so than the rest, and I have not been able to work with it as much. Okay, and then now I want to come to the most intimidating deck of all that I have, and it is the Buddha Tarot by Robert M. Place. This is the only Robert M. Place deck that I have. I'm still thinking about getting one of his other decks which look less intimidating, but this one intimidates me. Okay, let me go through the reasons why. Okay, the images are not bad. I wouldn't say they're anything like, this is like so good and so simple and pretty and understandable. But the thing is, I tend to forget. Okay, they don't use the 4 suits, they use 4 Buddhist symbols. So these are the Varyas. So the Buddhist, I've seen a lot of this when I was in Tibet recently. The 9 of Jewels, so I'm guessing this is like the Pentacles. Alright, and then you see things like this, the chakras. Then I'll see, oh, 17. What is 17? Oh, it's the star, because you know they don't always correspond. And then Tara. This is beautiful. Okay, I bought a green Tara Tanka right here from Tibet. I love it. I love her. I welcomed her into my house, and I'm so glad. So, Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. That's her mantra. I don't say it enough, but yeah, this is her mantra. And then you think, oh, so this is the double Varyas. So double Varyas are different from Varyas in this deck, and that confuses me. So, and it's green, a green border for double Varyas. So what are they? Are they the wands? I get confused. I just get confused. okay? And then five of lotuses. So lotus. What's the lotus? I think it's wands. So I'm gonna just check because it came with a little white book. Luckily it did, because I would have been totally lost without it. Okay? So the Varyas, I think that's how it's pronounced. I might be wrong. Vajras, is the swords. The jewels. The jewels are the coins. So we got it right. The lotuses are the staffs in the tarot, which is the wands. And the double Varyas are the cups. So you see all these, I guess it makes sense because when you see the double Varyas, it's blue in color, which is water, like the cups are. But you know, seeing it like this, they don't remind me of cups nearly enough. And why are there two similar symbols? I'm not saying that this wasn't thought through well, because I'm sure it is. It just confuses me and scares me off. The majors are also like parts of Buddha's, I think Shakyamuni Mundi Buddha's life. And then another big thing is that the original book that, you know, Robert M. Place wrote about this deck, it's nowhere to be found, or it's like super expensive. So without that resource, I don't feel ready. And maybe that's an excuse because clearly I have this resource, but I'm not getting into the deck anytime soon. Yeah, so I feel like it's a pity because I am like predominantly Buddhist in thinking. Of course, I also am a pagan in a way. I just do whatever I feel like it's right. I'm eclectic, okay? I'm eclectic. I just wish I could connect to this deck a little better, and it could be just some effort from my part reading this little white book. I just wish I had that the full book to refer to. So I wish he really releases one. That being said, the art itself also is not like something that I super love. I think for Robert M. Place, out of all his decks, the biggest decks that I like from him are the Alchemical Tarot and the Alchemical Tarot Magnum Opus. I think that's how you pronounce it, and that's what I'm thinking of getting, one of them. So if anyone have any suggestions, let me know, or if it's super intimidating, let me know. But in any case, these are the 5 decks that I find super intimidating and I'm still not able to let myself go deep into, except maybe for the Spirit Keeper's Tarot. I feel like this deck was designed intentionally to be also accessible and relates to the RWS. I just wish I had enough energy, enough time to dedicate myself to creating the oils that I need, and the coloring. Should I print out every single card on A4 size just to color? I don't know. Help me decide what's the best way to go, okay guys, especially people who already have the SKT and are working deep with it. Let me know how you guys are working with the Tabula Mundi deck. Let me know if you have the Buddha deck as well, and Buddha Tarot, and how you're going to work with it. I know I have friends who are super into the Thoth deck. Let me know how you studied it. You know, just I would love to really talk to you guys about all these decks, because I do need some kind of help in learning them better, and so I can really appreciate them. Alright? Thank you so much for hearing this and watching this rambly video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and gives you a glimpse into how you know, sometimes you can get blocked using new tarot decks and that you just procrastinate. These decks are still decks I like, so I don't really want to give them up, but because I've not been using them, I've been thinking also like, you know, maybe I should pass them on to someone who can better learn them. Maybe I'm not the right person, but I hate saying that because I feel like I'm not weak in any way, and I should be able to, you know, power through. Okay, so give me your encouragement, give me your comments, give me your suggestions. I'm more than happy to hear them. Let me know what you think of this video. If you want similar content, or you have ideas for new content relating to this, if you want a walkthrough of any of these decks, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do so, okay? Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great rest of the day. Take care. Bye.